What if you could be eternal? Right now, this instant.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're doing a deep dive into the impact of de-aging technology on the film industry. We'll be discussing the benefits and limitations of keeping Hollywood's old guard in the spotlight for longer, and how this is changing the landscape of cinema.
I remember her.
Just an idea of what's possible.
Hollywood began to experiment with computer-generated imagery as early as the 1940s. However, it wasn't until the 90s and early 2000s that CGI, as we think of it today, became such an integral part of the film industry.
Trinity! Help!
De-aging technology is a relatively new visual effects technique in which the image of an actor is digitally edited or touched up to make them appear younger, sometimes with the help of stand-ins. Occasionally, the image is even created from scratch. The first notable use of digital de-aging was in the opening sequence of X-Men: The Last Stand, released in 2006. Since then, the technique has mostly been employed for short flashback scenes. However, in the last decade, it's been cropping up more and more, with the Marvel Cinematic Universe continuing to lead the charge.
Hello, Peter.
Hi? Do I know you?
So what are the pros? Consistency and accuracy. In the past, time jumps in films have usually been dealt with in one of two ways. The characters are aged up or down using makeup, or they're played by more than one actor. Makeup and prosthetics can be very convincing when aging up, but aging down is more of a challenge.
Instant eye lift.
Wow. And you'll never see the strings, they'll be under the wig.
The man has 5 o'clock shadow at 8:30 a.m. and you're worried about strings?
It's often easier to go with a younger actor, but this can be jarring for an audience, especially when we're dealing with a big star. For example, we know exactly what Bruce Willis looked like as a young man, so we'd know he looked nothing like Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
All right, listen. I know this is a hard situation for you, but we both know how this has to go down. I can't let you walk away from this diner alive. This is my life now. I earned it. You had yours already. So why don't you do what old men do and die?
In Looper, prosthetics were used to subtly change Gordon-Levitt's appearance, but as visual effects technology becomes more advanced, it's natural for filmmakers to want the younger versions of their characters to resemble their leading actors as much as possible. For a short scene in particular, de-aging technology, when done well, can provide consistency and prevent confusion.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about, but I like the way you say it.
My heart is yours, Meredith Quill.
Helping improve and better the technology. Okay, back in X-Men days, we might not have been quite so convinced, but the more de-aging technology is used and developed, the better it's going to get.
I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here. Nothing lasts.
For The Curious Case of Benjamin Button in 2008, the digital effects team aged up Brad Pitt using the MoVA camera system to log his facial expressions and rebuild them into a new, older face. For 2019's Gemini Man, Will Smith was aged down using facial recognition technology, merged with data from his performance in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Your father took my blood and he cloned me. He made you from me. Our DNA is identical.
There are still some issues to iron out, but soon we might not even be able to tell the difference between old footage of a star in their youth and a digitally altered image. It may be unnerving, but it's still exciting to see the technology progress.
You're the girl from the picture.
I mean, I do have a name.
The fun nostalgia factor. For now, we're enjoying the de-aging thing mostly as a gimmick, because, of course, it's fun to see our favourite stars return to their youth.
Tell me that isn't what I think it is.
That depends if you think it's a poor attempt to replicate my work. Even for this group, that takes nerve.
The brief appearance of a young Michael Douglas in Ant-Man had film fans feeling nostalgic, as did the digitally de-aged face of Johnny Depp in Dead Man Tell No Tales. The actors themselves have been known to enjoy it too. Samuel L. Jackson took to social media to share his thoughts on his new look in Captain Marvel, saying, "Wow, this Marvel de-aging thing is doper than I thought."
Name a detail so bizarre a Skrull could never fabricate it.
A toast is cut diagonally, I can't eat it. You didn't need that, did you?
No, I didn't, but I enjoyed it.
But what's the flip side? The tech can't really turn back the clock. So yes, Jackson is right. Digital de-aging does look pretty dope, but it definitely has its limitations.
Now a warning. Now a warning? Take care of yourself.
There's more to turning back the clock than smoothing out a few forehead wrinkles, and there are other ways an aging actor can give themselves away. Take the most recent Indiana Jones as an example.
What did you come here for?
You got a lot of nice stuff. Other people's stuff.
Ford may look like a young Indy, but he still sounds and moves like an 80-year-old man. In a short flashback scene, this may be barely noticeable, but the intro to Dial of Destiny is 25 minutes long enough for the cracks to begin to show.
Come on! I can't do that! You want to stop for a little lie down?
For the 2019 film The Irishman, visual effects supervisor Pablo Hellman spent 2 years developing new technology that would allow him to de-age a cast of elderly stars without using motion capture headgear or facial tracking dots. De Niro and Al Pacino do look younger, facially, but even actors of this caliber are going to find it difficult to recreate the physicality and movement of a young man once they've passed the age of 70.
You got a problem? You pull me aside.
Yeah.
You don't insult me,
No.
then you say it didn't apply to me.
How am I gonna pull you aside? I didn't even see you there. Oh, come on, Frank. You know me better than that.
Even when the age gap is much smaller, physical differences can come into play. For Peter Jackson's Hobbit trilogy, Orlando Bloom returned as Legolas.
No one enters this kingdom, and no one leaves it.
Following at noon. Tiro Devnin Hein. Naganet and Aran.
As elves are immortal and The Hobbit takes place decades before The Lord of the Rings, Bloom was de-aged for consistency. His face in the later trilogy is therefore just as smooth and elf-like, but there's no hiding that he's still physically different. A 30-something man, not a boyish 20-something-year-old.
I cannot go back. Where will you go? I do not know.
Technology dates. De-aging software continues to improve, but the faster technology moves on, the quicker early trials of the tech become dated. CGI dates a film much quicker than practical effects or makeup, and the first examples of de-aging are beginning to look amateurish, now that we've seen better. If we can already pinpoint the limitations of de-aging in certain movies, how are those films going to hold up in a few years?
Got it. I expected more.
Does the de-aging process sometimes go too far? De-aging can also have negative effects on an actor's performance. De-aged faces sometimes have an overly smooth, animated quality to them, and the natural movement of the face is altered.
Did you think you were the only one of your kind, young lady?
We're mutants, Jean.
An actor's facial expressions are important. When the face is digitally modified, even if it's just a little touch-up, aspects of their performance may be lost.
Nothing clean, right?
Nothing clean. Right.
Yeah, I think this guy's a couple cans short of a six-pack.
When discussing the de-aging technology used in his film The Irishman with British director Joanna Hogg, Martin Scorsese admitted his own concerns, saying, "Does it change the eyes at all? If that's the case, what was in the eyes that I liked? Was it intensity? Was it gravitas? Was it threat? And then how do we get it back? I don't know."
Would you like to be a part of this history?
Yes, I would. Whatever you need me to do, I'm available.
The ethical dilemma. Less opportunity for young actors. As well as the practical limitations and impact on an actor's performance, we also have to consider the ethical issues of de-aging. When veteran stars like De Niro and Harrison Ford are still taking the lead in big-budget movies, where does that leave the young, and not so young, up-and-comers?
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Will you help me?
Yes, anything.
British actor Stephen Graham took his career to a new level with his role in The Irishman. But why not cast more relative newbies in key roles? If they'd had the technology to de-age Marlon Brando for The Godfather Part 2, Robert De Niro might not be the star he is today.
Bisogna che fate incazzare chi sai sia così malandrino come recite voi oggi, no?
Ma come fai tu a farci picchiare di me?
Even a flashback scene or a small part as the younger version of a lead character can be a big opportunity for a young actor. Saoirse Ronan was Oscar nominated for her performance as young Bryony in Atonement. More recently, Robert Amoreau, who played the young Ned Stark in Game of Thrones, and young Elrond in Rings of Power, has taken the step up to big screen leading man.
It is said the wine of victory is sweetest for those in whose bitter trials it has fermented.
Why not write age-appropriate roles for older actors? With the decline of the mid-budget film and the changing habits of cinemagoers, there seem to be fewer movie stars among the younger generation of actors. Therefore, old-school big names with their proven talent and ability to pull in audiences remain a valuable commodity, even into their later years.
Why is that?
It's one of life's mysteries, sir.
This isn't a joke. I asked you a question.
I'm where I belong, sir.
But what does the de-aging epidemic tell us about Hollywood's attitude towards these mature movie stars? So far, de-aging technology has mostly been used for flashbacks. As it gets better, will we see more aging stars with digital facelifts shoved into leading roles written for much younger actors?
Don't worry, you're gonna love the holiday menu with the commissary.
You know, they say sarcasm is a metric for potential. If that's true, you'll be a great man someday.
Instead of finding ways to put elderly men or middle-aged female characters center stage, will writers simply rely on de-aging to keep stars looking fresh-faced, at the point at which they would traditionally begin to age out of the best roles?
Do you believe how she looks? How old is she? 50. 50? You've got to be kidding.
I wonder what her secret is.
Do we really need more airbrushing? With the rise in the everyday use of social media filters, Photoshop and AI, not to mention Botox, our perception of how people really look is becoming more and more warped.
I am, after all, merely a reflection of you. Well, not an exact reflection. I have no wrinkles.
They're not wrinkles, just crinkles.
As you wish.
Well, what do you suggest I do?
The stars of the big screen are already kept preternaturally youthful by lifestyle, plastic surgery, personal trainers, and good styling. Do we really need to add digital de-aging to all that? We could also argue that even movie stars should be allowed to grow old gracefully and not be forced to disguise themselves beneath a digital mask of their own face from 20 years ago.
It's my image. I'm sure somebody would pay me for it. Maybe.
What could be in store for the future? The ethics become even murkier when tech is used to turn adults back into children or resurrects actors from the dead. In Series 4 of Stranger Things, a younger version of Eleven was created using a body double or virtual actor, with Millie Bobby Brown's face added on top in the post-production stages.
Never mind how.
Let me out. I want out!
I'm sorry, Eleven. You'll have to find your own way out.
Stranger still, over in the Star Wars universe, filmmakers made the unusual decision to have the deceased act alongside the living. The late Peter Cushing was digitally recreated for Rogue One in 2016, reprising his role from the original movie from 1977.
Senate gets wind of our project, countless systems will flock to the rebellion.
When the battle station is finished, Governor Tarkin, the Senate will be of little concern.
When has become now, Director Krennic. The Emperor will tolerate no further delay.
Visual effects supervisor John Knoll told Yahoo Movies, "We weren't doing anything that I think Peter Cushing would have objected to." But as the actor died in 1994, he couldn't exactly give his consent. Carrie Fisher also appears in some scenes from 2019's The Rise of Skywalker, which were filmed after she passed. This was made possible using her daughter as a body double, and unused footage shot for episode 7.
I know it looks like I'm making excuses.
Don't tell me what things look like, tell me what they are.
In both cases, the family gave permission, and perhaps both actors would have approved the choice, given the chance. However, the idea of having access to an actor's image when they no longer have any knowledge of or control over how it's used and distributed raises a lot of ethical questions.
Princess Leia, like I'm supposed to go, yes.
What do you do when people say that?
I think in my mind, yes. No, I try not to respond as an adult.
Alternatives to CGI aging. Makeup. So now we come full circle to argue that CGI de-aging, however useful or impressive, is not always necessary. The technology has been progressing in leaps and bounds, but time hasn't stood still for other areas of the film industry either. Movie makeup, for example, is just getting better and better.
It's 5:03. I want to stop.
Are you sure? Once you stop, you can't go back.
I want to stop!
From Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins to the parents in Back to the Future, a wig and some skillfully applied prosthetics can be enough to create the desired aging effect when paired with an equally skilled actor.
Mom, Dad, did you hit your head? You guys look great. Mom, you look so thin.
Thank you, Marty.
As we said earlier, aging down is trickier, but it can often be achieved sufficiently with the subtle styling of makeup, hair and clothes. And if aging down is more difficult, why not take a risk on new young stars and use makeup to add a few decades, rather than trying to recapture the youth of an established talent who's ready to take on more mature roles?
Such a special face. Beautiful.
Casting different actors for different ages. Of course, rather than trying to alter anyone's age, you could just cast different actors.
This is exactly where we belong. We've been here for years.
There have been bad examples of this, of course, but when the casting is spot on, you get a real movie magic. A digitally de-aged Harrison Ford is all very well, but a young Anthony Ingruber in The Age of Adeline is pretty convincing too. And that smile is so familiar that the nostalgia still hits.
Just lose the brake, I'll give you a push. You pop your clutch and you'll take off.
Okay. Thank you.
He may not look exactly the same, just like young Scrooge in A Muppet's Christmas Carol looks different from a young Michael Caine, or Romola Gari in Atonement looks different from a young Vanessa Redgrave. However, sometimes you just have to sacrifice total accuracy for emotional authenticity. It not only gives different actors a chance, but we'd also argue that it produces better performances.
You said the partnership was the goal.
This is for you. I love you, Bill.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Conclusion. So what do you think? Is digital de-aging a viable future or a slippery slope that erodes the authenticity of the movie industry and crosses lines into unethical territory?
I'm just trying to help. Hey, when are you gonna tell her why all this is happening?
We'd argue that it's still fun for a flashback. However, the potential to preserve the stars in a perpetual state of youth and even keep their images alive to fill leading roles after death is more unnerving than entertaining. We think Jurassic Park's Ian Malcolm may have said it best.
Our scientists have done things which nobody's ever done before.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Are you excited or unnerved by digital de-aging? And what movie do you think did it best? Let us know in the comments.